What if your evening glass of water, the one you drink to stay healthy, is actually working against your heart? Cardiologists have found that timing, temperature, and even the container can silently influence blood pressure, circulation, and overnight recovery. In this video, we'll break down 5 drinking mistakes that turn pure hydration into hidden stress on your cardiovascular system. Before your next sip tonight, make sure you're not making one of these mistakes millions overlook. Number 1. Ignoring signs of swelling or frequent nighttime. Urination. You might think waking up to urinate at night is just about drinking too much water, but your body may be sounding an early heart alarm. When the heart's pumping power weakens, fluid can start to build up quietly in your lower body through the day. Feet or ankles that feel swollen by evening aren't just tired limbs. They're often holding on to water. Your circulatory system couldn't move efficiently. Then, when you lie down at night, that trapped fluid shifts back toward your core, pushing your kidneys to filter more and triggering those unexpected bathroom visits. Most people brush this off as aging, sipping too much tea, or simply overhydrating before bed. But cardiologists warn these patterns can reveal reduced heart or kidney function long before other obvious symptoms show up. The body is trying to balance itself, yet each nightly cycle of swelling and late-night urination hints at growing strain on circulation and fluid control. What happens next is loss of sleep and slower recovery for the entire cardiovascular system, leaving you feeling more fatigued even after a full night in bed. Research shows that nocturia often accompanies early heart failure or hypertension. It's not random. It's a sign of the heart and kidneys working overtime while the rest of the body tries to rest. Over time, those repeated disruptions do more than interrupt sleep. They signal an ongoing imbalance in how your body manages pressure and volume. So the question becomes, are those nightly interruptions harmless? Or are they your body's quiet warning sign? Paying attention to swelling and nighttime urination and adjusting how much water you drink later in the evening can lighten this hidden pressure and support your heart's nighttime recovery. And that brings us to how simple timing habits with water can change everything about how your heart rests at night. Number 2, drinking large amounts of water right before bed. Many people chug a full glass of water before bed, believing it flushes toxins. But it may actually stress your heart and disrupt your rest cycle. The routine often starts as a healthy habit. You want to wake up refreshed, so you top off your hydration right before lying down. But when you drink a large amount all at once, your body can't process that fluid gradually. Instead of entering rest mode, your kidneys switch into high gear. During sleep, most systems slow down to recover. The heart rate drops, blood pressure stabilizes, and the kidneys reduce filtration to let the body restore itself. Pour in a big volume of water right before bed, and this natural rhythm changes. The kidneys are suddenly pushed to handle more blood and fluid at a time when they should be slowing their activity. That extra workload increases blood volume and forces the heart to pump harder through the night. It's like running a water pump after closing hours. It does the job, but it prevents the machinery from cooling down and wears it out faster over time. Studies show that this kind of nighttime strain affects heart rate variability, a key measure of recovery and nervous system balance. When kidney filtration stays high overnight, heart rhythm becomes less flexible, and deep sleep shortens. People often wake up several times needing to urinate, interrupting the stages of rest that restore heart muscle function. The idea of flushing out toxins before sleep sounds logical, but your body already handles detoxification continuously. Timing is what really matters. By spacing out your water intake through the evening and finishing larger drinks at least an hour before bed, you keep hydration steady without forcing your heart to stay on alert. Next, let's look at how water temperature can quietly shape that nighttime heartbeat. Number 3, using very cold or iced water late at night. That refreshing gulp of ice-cold water may feel calming, but inside your chest it prompts a sudden vascular shock. When you drink very cold water, the drop in temperature triggers an immediate reaction in your blood vessels. They tighten to reduce heat loss, and at the same time, your vagus nerve sends a signal to slow your heartbeat. This quick shift can cause a temporary drop in blood pressure, followed by a rebound increase, forcing the heart to readjust its rhythm at a time when it should be winding down. Most people never connect that chill in the throat or chest with a cardiovascular response. The cooling feels soothing, especially after a warm meal or shower, but the body perceives it as stress. At night, when the parasympathetic system is taking over to slow heart rate and relax muscles, that splash of cold water acts like an alarm, waking up circulation temporarily. The temperature change causes minor turbulence in blood flow. The heart compensates by contracting slightly harder, which might not seem noticeable, but disrupts the gradual slowdown your system depends on before sleep. Cardiologists explain that late-night cooling triggers are more disruptive because the body's core temperature naturally drops in preparation for rest. Introducing something colder exaggerates that decline, creating a mismatch between internal and external signals. If this happens every night, those small reactions accumulate. Repeated constriction of vessels can reduce their flexibility over time, increasing strain on the heart as it adjusts again and again. Choosing room temperature water instead brings the body into alignment with its natural nighttime rhythm. It keeps blood flow steady, encourages even heartbeats, and allows smoother recovery during sleep. Once you manage the temperature of what you drink, the next question is, what's actually holding that water by your bedside each night? Number 4, drinking from plastic bottles that sat out all day. That bottle sitting by your bed or car all day might look harmless, but unseen chemical leaching could subtly strain your endocrine and heart systems. When plastic sits in a warm environment, the material begins to release microscopic amounts of compounds like bisphenol A and bisphenol S into the water. These chemicals are known as endocrine disruptors, meaning they interfere with hormones that control metabolism, blood pressure, and stress response. Heat accelerates this process, so every hour your bottle spends in sunlight or a hot indoor space increases the likelihood that these chemicals will mix with your next sip. Most people assume bottled water stays clean and safe until it's empty, but temperature swings can change that. Leaving a plastic bottle in a car during the day or by a sunny window until evening gives the material enough time to break down at the surface. By the time you drink it, the taste and smell may seem normal, yet the water can contain trace levels of synthetic compounds your body has to process. Researchers link long-term exposure to these substances with subtle rises in blood pressure and disruptions in how your body manages salt and glucose, factors that can add quiet strain to the cardiovascular system over time. So, how many pure sips have actually carried microscopic stressors into your body without you realizing it? Reused bottles, older plastics, and high heat conditions all make this more likely, especially when it's a nightly habit. Shifting to glass or stainless steel keeps water chemistry stable and removes a layer of invisible risk tied to heart and hormone balance. Once you remove those hidden chemical triggers, it's easier to notice the next factor that alters circulation at night, the way water interacts with heavy or salty meals before bed. Number 5, taking water immediately after a heavy or salty dinner. You may think washing down a large or salty meal with water helps digestion, but it can actually pressure your heart overnight. After a heavy dinner, your body already faces a higher circulatory load as it moves blood toward the digestive system to process food. When that meal also contains extra sodium, as many evening dishes do, the body begins retaining more water to dilute the salt concentration. This increases total blood volume and makes your heart pump against slightly higher pressure. Adding a large amount of water immediately after eating magnifies that effect. The instinct to flush salt out right away seems logical, but physiology doesn't work that fast. Instead of clearing sodium, the sudden fluid intake forces it to move rapidly into the bloodstream. This causes quick fluid shifts and temporary spikes in blood pressure, a reaction much more pronounced at night when your body is preparing for rest. At this stage, hormones that normally promote calm and fluid retention make the cardiovascular system more sensitive to changes in volume. As a result, your heart works harder when it should be conserving energy. Experts note that this pattern explains why some people experience swelling, heavier breathing, or a racing heartbeat after late dinners followed by water. The American Heart Association recommends limiting daily sodium to around 1,500 milligrams, yet most people exceed that amount before dinner ends. Drinking water too soon afterward only intensifies circulation strain. Studies have shown that nighttime sodium water surges can alter blood flow enough to disturb sleep quality and recovery. Waiting 30 to 45 minutes after finishing a meal allows your body to start balancing sodium levels naturally before adding more water. This simple timing adjustment eases cardiac workload and prevents overnight swelling. In the end, controlling when you drink matters as much as how much you drink for heart-safe hydration. Pure water can either heal or harm depending on timing, temperature, and quality. Cardiologists explain that when evening hydration habits align with your body's natural rhythm, they support circulation instead of straining it. Adjusting small routines like drinking earlier, choosing room temperature water, and avoiding plastic bottles helps your heart rest and recover overnight.